Joining us this Sunday morning is Sergeant Matthew Malinowski from the Syracuse Police Department. Good morning, Sergeant Malinowski.
Good morning. Hopefully everyone had a good Thanksgiving and didn't spend too much on Black Friday because we officially started the shopping season.
Yes, don't be a party pooper. Black Friday is a holiday, a special occasion for people who like to shop like myself.
Oh, big spender, I know.
And like you just said, the holiday season is here, so I know you have a lot of tips about scams and how people can protect themselves as the holiday shopping season is now underway.
Yeah, just remember, one of the biggest things is when you're shopping, whether it's at the mall or a store, you got to hold on to your bags. We will see people that set their bags down even for a second and, look away. People are taking those bags and taking your property. So that's going to be the first one. And then just with anything else, if it sounds too good to be true, so be careful of anyone offering you over the phone or email any sort of gift cards or way to spend money. Just make sure you're going to legitimate stores, using legitimate services. That's going to be one of the biggest things. And then another big reminder would be this time of year, if you get something shipped to your house, making sure that you're being smart about property that's getting set in front of your house. So whether that's you ask a neighbor to grab the box for you, if you at least have a Ring camera so you can keep an eye on it. But we're just reminding people we do see gifts and other things shipped to your house get stolen off the front of people's porches and in front of their houses. So that's just something to be mindful of as well. So obviously we want this to be a cheerful time of year, and we don't want to see anyone be the victim of a crime. So again, just like we always try to say, be proactive about your safety and just think of ways to, make sure that you don't become a victim of a crime.
Now it's time for the tip of the week, something that I do not like: driving in the winter.
Yeah, so we had our first notable snowfall, I'll say, and we had a couple car accidents stemming from that. So we just want to get some reminders out to people. Let's just remember how to drive in the snow. We know people from Syracuse do it best. But biggest thing first, you got to check your tires. You got to make sure you have enough tread, because even if you're the best driver in the world, if you don't have enough tread on those tires, you're not going to be able to stop. Your windshield wipers, making sure those are good. And then the other thing, when you're starting off on the day, making sure you're cleaning off that car. So don't be that person who, has that little tunnel that you cleared off and you're driving and this is all you can see. You got to brush the whole car off, even the top, because if you're driving on the highway, it becomes a huge storm behind you of all that snow blowing off. So that's like the three main things you can do before you even leave. And then obviously when you're driving, giving yourself enough space is huge. You can stop if you have enough space between. So that means leaving a little bit earlier for work, but making sure that you have enough space to stop, because snow's going to obviously stop that. So just, put it in the front of your brain, and hopefully we can prevent a few accidents. That's all we're asking for.
And I'm asking this question for a friend. Can police pull you over if you do not fully wipe off your car?
You and this friend, you're from Chicago. You guys know more snow than probably we do, but I'll say that, yes, technically you can be ticketed for an obstructed view. We would really not want to even get to that point. We're just asking people to, take the extra second, do the responsible thing, and try to clean the car off and be courteous to all the other drivers on the road.
Thank you. I'm sure my friend will take that advice from you this morning. And we want to give a special kudos to Syracuse Police and a lot of the organizations this week. You guys had a very successful turkey giveaway.
Yes, this is the first one, at least that I know, that we've done. It was a great turnout. We had people from the community show up. We got rid of the turkeys. In about 30 minutes, we distributed over 200 turkeys to the community, and then another 100 turkeys to 4 organizations. And, it was really nice because a lot of this community, they're in need, and to be able to give them a turkey so they can celebrate the holidays, build that relationship, was paramount.
And of course, before we end the segment, I have to ask you a trick question. What is the most important dish on your Thanksgiving table?
I'm going to have to go with the stuffing. I don't know. That's definitely my favorite. So.
Okay, that's a good answer.
It's hard for me to decide, but I'm stuffing. Hopefully I don't make anyone upset.
I mean,
but that's for.
I was hoping you said mac and cheese, but I can go with the stuffing, so we're on the same page with that. The future of Interstate 81 will transform Central New York forever. We know the highway did the first time around, erasing the city's 15th ward. This time, an entire neighborhood standing up to the state's transportation department to make sure they are not left out of the bigger picture. A lesson learned from the devastating consequences left behind by this stretch of highway. People displaced, homes and businesses destroyed.
It's important to really think about how we're going to redress the environmental racism that they've experienced over 60 years.
The result of what is now Interstate 81, sacrificing an entire community, formerly known as the 15th Ward, to build this stretch of highway through Syracuse. Lynessa Chaplin, one of the many faces of a movement to bring restorative justice back to descendants and the residents who live in the shadows of the viaduct.
It was a shock to everyone.
Fast forward to today, 50 years after the neighborhood was wiped out, the Department of Transportation is getting ready to tear down this interstate. Buried within the 25,000-page proposal, renderings to build a roundabout right next to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary School, a plan neighbors say they knew nothing about.
They would never have done this in their community, or they would have never done this without talking to us. I think we've heard that from dozens of parents who were like, how could they put this there without talking to us first?
This time around, people are galvanizing to stop the state from making decisions without their permission.
The fact that it was directly across the street from an elementary school was alarming to parents, community leaders, children who attend the school, and children in the neighborhood.
A mission to stop the roundabout taking over city streets. Among the crowd, Syracuse school teacher Joe Bennett.
It's just another hazard that students might have to deal with. I mean, right now they're dealing with environmental hazards from how many cars drive through here every day. I think people were worried about how many cars are going to be next to the school.
Hundreds of comments pouring into the DOT against bringing this traffic circle next to a school filled with promising students.
Any detail to where they're going to place the roundabout, to how they're going to design the streets, to how they're going to make the bike lanes are going to impact this community for generations to come.
We need to bring back who was displaced originally. Don't just keep the people who are here, but bring back the people who were originally displaced. So I think it's not only about taking it down, but it's also about the after effects and setting wrongs right.
Progress after months of protesting.
We've got real work to do.
Finally coming from project leader Mark Frechette in October.
They don't want a major transportation feature that exists adjacent to the school.
Announcing the state is now reconsidering the roundabout with alternatives further from the school.
What DOT heard was the roundabout at MLK is a fatal flaw. I think we can engineer some new things that will be acceptable to the community.
This was an absolute win for the community.
A fight that is coming full circle from the ashes of the 15th Ward.
I hope that this new generation, seeing the changes that the DOT has made because they did complain about the roundabout, it's just one small win, one small victory that can kind of build up that kind of esteem to say your voice matters.
An historical win with hopes of a seat at the table to see the project from start to finish. A vantage point of a promised land overdue since the 1950s.
Fight's not over after we take down 81. It's going to continue.
Construction on I-81 is set to begin in 2022.